Hi everyone, I'm inspired to speak about peace, the manifestor's signature. So even though it's night and the light is not completely right, we're still gonna do that. And if you're manifestors or people who love manifestors and want to understand them and maybe even guide them, this is for you. And take a breath because it's gonna be a little multifaceted and maybe a little complex. As we are humans. So, speaking about peace, the manifestor's signature, we have to look also at the other side, which is what we call the not self theme, which is anger. So, it's the two sides of the coin and they come together. And the first thing to understand about the coin and those two things is that they speak of the body, they happen in the body. So, anger for the manifestors, and I prefer rage because this is how it feels to me, like a dragon's fire. It starts in the body, it starts through the aura when there is no correctness. Either you are not correct or somebody is not correct with you, which is the same because ultimately it's our responsibility and our reality, but this is for another discussion. There's anger, and it starts in the body, in the aura, and then it goes to the psychological, to the thought, putting a story on that. I'm angry because, whatever. And the same is with peace. So peace is a body thing. And this is something very profound that took me a long time, and actually I'm now in the 7th year of my experiment, and I'm only starting to really deepen into that the last few months, and this is why I was so inspired to speak about this. The first relationship I had with peace as a signature when I went into the experience is as a mental concept. Peace. What is peace? And I can always see, I could always see my ability to be in peace mentally, meaning not to be in a struggle with reality. Not listen to my story and be very still. Years of meditation, loving the stillness, inside as a manifestor. And so I had this mental understanding of what peace is. This is the first thing. And then with the years and lately very deep, I started realizing that it actually happens in the body. So what does it mean to be in peace in the body? And I'm going to come back to that in a moment. I want to say that another thing that happened for me, and maybe you can feel that as well, is that in the beginning I went into anger, and this is what I can do something with, and let's fix it. I'm a 5, yeah. So let's look at the anger and let's see the anger as opposed to where a signpost to where I'm not correct or reality is not correct with me, and my attention was on the anger. And the more I'm into my strategy and authority, and it's actually back to my nature for me, so it's not like I wait to be correct anymore. It's just the energy moves me, and the more the energy moves me towards peace, what I notice is that my mind is not oriented towards this anger and watching the anger anymore. It's where is peace? And this has to do with where I put my energy. Am I putting it on, not being anger or being what I actually want to be or long to be or am naturally when I'm correct, which is peace. And so that is one thing. And then peace in the body, what does that mean? So what does it mean to be peace? And we can start with it mentally because this is what we do anyway, because we are used to living our life on the mental plane. So it will start with the mental. And for the mental, I have a few things I want to say. So if you want to look at peace and be peace, peace is actually not war. Not a fight with reality. So I've been doing years before human design, I've been very much into Byron Katie and Who Would You Be Without Your Story. And I remember this one sentence that she said many years ago, and I was in a workshop with her. She said, defense is the first act of war. Defense is the first act of war. And this is so genius, because if you want to be not in war, you want to be in peace, you have to be the other side of that. And it's true, this defense is the first act of war. Watching myself defending, because this is my aura, this is what it's actually doing. It's defending me. It's closed to defend me, and it's repelling. And when I'm in an environment that's not correct and things are coming towards me all the time, my aura just keeps pushing all the time, and I'm putting all this energy and pushing the world and actually fighting in it, defending myself from what they want to ask or say or initiate. And we don't want to be there. So it always comes back to strategy and authority. If I understand I'm the manifestor and I'm the one that needs to initiate, and I'm gonna make my environment aware to the fact that I want to be the one initiating, and I can let them know, I'm informing them when they are not correct with me, and then I am correct because I'm informing. And what happens with the years is less and less I need to defend myself to be correct. So the more that I'm not defending myself, the more that I'm in peace. And then there is this openness. It's not the openness of the aura, because the aura is closed, but it's the openness of the being. For me, I'm a 2212, so channel of openness. And anyway, this is what I am, so open or closed. But for every manifestor, we are closed, but then if we don't need to defend ourselves, and we come to the world on our terms, in our time, from our energy, when the universe pushes us in the right moment, then there is this openness, and we can give our gifts, and we have so many, and this gift comes with peace. So first thing is to notice that defense is the first act of war. And I always looked at the manifestors, like in the Little Prince, the book The Little Prince, there is the rose, and he puts the glass thing on the rose to protect it. And this is us manifestors. We're like a rose inside. We're so delicate, actually, and very sensitive, and that we have this aura, so they don't feel it, and it doesn't come out, but that's what we are. So not defending ourselves. And then another thing is that not talking peace, but being peace. So be the peace you want to be. I mean, it starts with talking. I can talk peace, but eventually I want to be peace. And being peace is something very different than talking peace. And this is the not defending. So coming with an open heart, as they say in the spiritual world, not defending myself. And it comes through taking responsibility over my reality, which means, informing basically what the correct reality is for me, according to my inner authority that moves me and what it moves me to inform. And then there is peace. And what is peace in the body? And this is what we're talking about. So for me, what I realize is that it's exactly that. So there was a moment when I realized I don't need to fight them to be who I am. Because this is what we do, For me, I felt always that the world is kind of like twisting my arm, And I have this thing actually with my right shoulder. And this twisting of my arm, holding us back. Putting a leash, like Ross said, they put a leash on you, the generators. And this feeling that I gotta fight, I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna be who I am, and I'm gonna do it my way, because I can't do it any other way. I'm a manifestor, right? We can't. And it always comes with a fight. And the realization that I don't need to fight to be who I am. I don't need to fight them. I just need to be who I am. Strategy and authority, that's what took me there. And the realization of that deeply in my consciousness and allowing it in my body has kind of brought me to this accepting not doing, for periods of time, just sitting here, where you see me on this big pillow. It's my space at home that I like to just be. And the more I breathe into my being and into my aura, and just let myself just be, and then let the energy moves me when I need to move and initiate and do and inform what I'm going to do and what I'm going to say. And it brings the non-struggle, not being in a struggle. And it brings this place that Ross speaks of, that we are not here to survive. We're not here to survive. We're not here to think about how much money we're going to make, how we're going to make it, where it's going to come from, how are we going to do it. And this is my experience, that through time with strategy and authority, it takes you there mentally, it takes you there economically, it takes you there physically. And accepting who I am is peace actually for everyone, not just for manifestors, but for us this is the signature. So maybe for generators, accepting who they are will come with a deep satisfaction, but for us it's really peace. And peace in the body is really surrendering and letting go to this reality, which is kind of paradoxical for us, because we are manifestors and we are the ones responsible, and I see it all the time. So there's this reflection of reality, and it always comes back to me. What did I not inform? What did I not do correct? And for each one, it will be according to your motivation and according to you being either individual, tribal, or collective, and all the gates you are. And it's very unique. This is what's amazing. So you can't just say all manifestors are like this or like that. But all manifestors are here for peace. They're not here to be angry, but they're not here to fight with the anger. And the anger, in my experience, sometimes can be the fire, sometimes it can be the justice that's looking to come out in a way that only anger can sometimes bring it, initiate it, in a way that does not let society, and its conditioning stand in our way. And so being in peace with anger as well, anger changes into something else. Anger is just energy. So if you pull off the word anger as something that you look at negatively, and you just feel this energy in the body that happens through the connection with the world, sometimes, most of the times, this movement that can be very uncomfortable. And how do you listen to it? So how do you move when it's not comfortable anymore, and enough is enough? And then you can go back to peace. You can go back to being who you are. And then when this energy comes and wants to express itself, to say something new, to initiate something new, to chop someone's head off, as I say sometimes, because you have to inform them, and sometimes you have to inform them of something that is not going to be comfortable for them. And that's all right. That's what you're here for. But you're not here to do it out of war. You're here to do it out of peace. You're here to do it out of love. It doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable for everyone, and then it might not even be comfortable for you sometimes. But it's okay. It's okay if it's out of peace. It's okay if it's not out of the struggle. It's out of the well-being of who you are. So peace is in the body, and when it's in the body, it's in the mental plane. And when it's in both of those, it's in reality, when we speak to others, when we initiate, when we inform. And this is what I'm realizing more and more, and I'm really kind of diving deep into the signature. There's something about signatures, kind of like a tattoo. Woo! The cat's outside. Kind of like a tattoo, it's deep in your body, in your skin, and then when it's tattooed on you, people can see it, and you can see it. When you look at the mirror, you see peace. And if you look at peace, then you will see it more and more than you see the anger. And the peace and the anger, they're not they're not here to fight, they're here to work together. You know, they are the same energy moving from this pole to the other. And being in peace is being in peace with this, you know, just like being in peace with the emotional wave. It's being in peace with the waves of, you know, this energy of manifesting, which is sometimes fire, very strong, and sometimes this like wind, you know, like air, like waiting for the universe to bring that fire, to ignite it. So I very much enjoy this. I enjoy being a manifestor. I enjoy being who I am. I enjoy exploring peace. And I hope this inspired you to explore your peace and ask the question, what is peace in my body? What does it feel like to be peace? What does it mean to be peace? How does peace feel in me? How does it speak through me? What does it use from this form, which is a manifestor? And so, peace. May peace be with you. Bye, everyone.